I sometimes feel that fandoms forget who the original stan was. And by forgetting, they're coming closer and closer to what the original was, aka batshit fucking insane. Hello beautiful people, hi, my name is Mia and this is My Virtual Vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it, and I feel like I am blinding you with these lights, so let's take the glasses off. I'm blind, but let's hope you love me nonetheless. This is a video that is part of an ongoing series that I have on my channel, and it is called Influencers Are Lying to You. And I want to talk about how influencers are lying to you regarding their weaponization of stan culture. Yes, you heard that right, weaponization. Because some of these influencers are using their fan bases like the goddamn atomic bomb. Before we proceed, however, I wanted to say a big thank you. We went past 1K, which honestly is unbelievable and very flattering and a little overwhelming, and I'm so glad to have you all here. I really appreciate every single person that subscribes to this channel and puts up with my shit. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you, I love you. And now that the awkward thank yous are out of the way, let's get down to business, aka spilling tea, because I serve it boiling hot. Now, I feel that the term stan is quite recent in popular culture. Like, fandoms and fans have been around forever. Stans, though, I feel have appeared with the emergence of the online. Because in the online, it is much easier to converge upon a single point of focus, your fandom of choice or your idol of choice, and then obsess over it. Because you are not only you in your home basing your experience with the fandom through the TV shows you consume or the books you read or magazines, comics, the odd person here and there that happens to match your interest. No, you have access to a plethora of media that involves your single point of focus, as I said, and thousands, if not millions, of fans just like you. So this whole frenzy of fandom has become so much more amplified in the latest years because you can speak to everyone that has the same interest as you, and you kind of get into a feedback loop of feeding into each other, of becoming more and more into the fandom the more you get involved with it and the people inside of it. And the stan was born. And no, I don't mean stan as in the Eminem song, because I feel that many people forgot the original. The Eminem song Stan is about a crazy fan of Eminem's that tries to get closer and closer to him, and that leads him to his own demise. Shit, look at me talking about an Eminem song as if it's some literary Shakespeare masterpiece or whatnot. But still, it is a very good analysis of the sort of obsession that is very current, even though the song is like older than my little sister, which makes me feel incredibly old and ancient and decrepit. Let's begin by defining a bit stan culture. So when you evolve from fan to stan, like some sort of internet Pokemon, you go from someone that is mildly interested and involved in the fandom to someone that is pretty hardcore. You follow that person. In the case of the influencer, you support them no matter what. You basically make them your idol. And I feel that leads to a very toxic sort of fandom environment, which I want to discuss in the next video. But I don't want to discuss fandom itself at the moment. I want to discuss how influencers are lying to you regarding the way that they use their fans. And you thought I'd never get to this point, but here we are. What happens when an influencer curates a fan base that turns into a stan base is that they have got a small private army. And while that private army may not manifest itself in real life, like you won't be able to, I don't know, invade Poland with it or anything, in the life on the internet, support matters. And it doesn't only matters as in it translates into income and views and likes and whatever. It also matters in your interpersonal interactions with other people. What happens is that there is this sort of tribalism emerging that views the influencer as the chief or the single point of contact, if you will, this single point of focus. Thus, whatever attacks the tribe, the influencer becomes an enemy. People get united in their interests. For example, let's say you are a fan of Jeffree Star. You love Jeffree Star. And then you meet people who are also Jeffree Star fans. You get into a sort of parasocial relationship with Jeffree Star, so a one-sided relationship where you care about him because he is your idol and you're his fan. And then you create links with other Jeffree Star fans. Even if you don't talk to each other, you are part of the same tribe, of the same family. This is nothing new. People have tribalism in their blood. We flock to each other based on interests, likes, and dislikes. We see other people as enemies or others based on preferences and differences in preference that, objectively speaking, are not that important. Find connection with other people and reject other people based on them. And this happens with influencers as well. Influencer has got this army of stans behind them, which will do their bidding at the drop of a hat. There are many psychological reasons for that, and I'm not gonna get into them right now because I can only be an armchair psychologist so much. But believe me, it happens. I've seen it happen. I have witnessed many wars in my lifetime, many skirmishes. What this means for the influencer is that yes, they do have a loyal fan base that translates in sales, view, likes, as I said earlier, but that also means that they have someone to do their dirty work that will help them keep their hands clean while engaging in slightly, I wouldn't say unethical, but at least shady or shitty behavior. What that means is that the stan fan base needs only a little push for the influencer to do their bidding. And after the whole army of fans attacks, the influencers can excuse themselves with, well, I can't control them. I didn't ask them. I didn't explicitly, and I cannot stress this enough, explicitly say that they should do that. But you see, the little push that they give their stans makes them complicit in using them in weaponizing their stan base. So for example, the influencer can publicly call out someone who wronged them and does not directly say, oh, so and so wronged me, but they can conveniently forget to not censor the person's name. Thus, the stans will flock to that person and attack them, essentially harassing them into submission, winning the influencer's battle for them. So instead of the influencer actually arguing with that person like a grown-up, they will basically sick their fans on the person that dared contradict them. And after that, they will say, well, it's not my fault that they went there. I did not send them. But even the fact that they failed to censor that name, that means they're complicit and that they should be held responsible. Or they could not even do any type of censoring. They could not call out directly the person, but they could be dropping hints. For example, they could say, oh, so-and-so is so-and-so that bothers me is a girl, and I don't know why a girl would do this to another girl. And so, it's amazing that another black woman would do to a black woman what she's done to me. And so also has a channel, but I'm not gonna say her name. And then your stans, of course, will do a Sherlockian amount of detective work, and they will figure out who it is. And then the influencer will hide behind the smoke screen of, well, I didn't give out their name. But the fact that you gave out these hints, well, the influencer is meant for their stans to attack that other person. But you see, they are trying to be sneaky by not giving out the direct name. And thus, their hands are clean. They can say, well, I did not name this person, I did not sick my fans on them directly, and yet their fans still did the dirty work and attacked that person. It seems that many influencers are willing to conveniently overlook or temporarily forget the influence that they have on their fan base. It is very easy for them to claim this influence when it does make them money, and yet they will keep saying that, oh, I did not know they would do that, which, bullshit. You do know what's gonna happen if you use your larger fan base to attack somebody else. And you know what happens when you drop hints. And you know what happens when you don't call out people, yet subtweet them. And leave like a breadcrumb trail of clues for your followers to follow to get to that person. The fact that you do not do it directly does not absolve you from responsibility, no matter how much you say it should. The issue is that many people actually do not get the subtleties of this Sun Tzu-worthy internet warfare. They will say, oh, the influencer is innocent, they did not know. And what I'm trying to say is that if you had a huge fan base and you weaponize them in this situation, if you drop hints, if you subtweet, if you conveniently forget to censor a screenshot, you are using them as your own personal weapon, and you should be held accountable for the shit that they do in your name. And the problem is that in getting used to stan culture and normalizing it, we have become more and more lenient towards influencers that do not handle their fan bases. What I am trying to say is that if you are a big influencer and you do this shit, you are literally acting like you're 12. Not only that, but you are using people that love you and care for you, that you do not give a shit about more than in the abstract sense that they follow you and they help your career. You are using them to do your dirty work and to keep your hands clean. You are asking them to shed online blood in your name like you're some sort of Aztec god of the internet. And I don't like that. We should stop normalizing this kind of behavior. We should stop brushing it aside by saying, oh, you know, these stans, I don't know, these stans are crazy. We should start keeping influencers accountable for the stuff that they do with their popularity and their influence, for the sway that they have over other people, for the results of their actions, of their tea spilling, of their shade, even if they do not directly engage with that person, but they do something that could trigger such an engagement, a skirmish between the stans and that person or their own stan base, they should be held accountable. And yes, they are only people, blah, 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 I know. But I think we could all stand in trying to be more ethical about our engagements with our subscriber base and the people that follow us, that admire us, that like us, both in real life and in online. Stop profiting from people's love for you. It doesn't matter that you don't love them back or you don't know them. You are practically perverting their admiration and support for you into a sphere to stab someone in the rib cage with. And that's disgusting. This is it for this video. I just wanted to put this out there that we should be more careful in the future to take a look at how influencers interact with their fan base, lest we become their weapon or we fall prey to them. This has been it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave me your thoughts down below. I've got a couple of more videos like this planned out in the future, and they're coming soon. I'm trying to release them like once a week until my ideas run out, which they probably will, because I've got like 5 more planned. And then I'll probably take a break, come out with more ideas. You know how it is. The creative life is a hard life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening, a morning, whatever it is where you're from. Bye.